Hey, well, I forgot the intro already, so welcome
Hot.
to our club with the
So
name.
the streak is back to 1 day.
I forgot! I'm sorry! I had this cool...
It's
I
been,
feel like at some point we have to hash out like what the intro is going to be like off mic at some point.
Why did I start recording now?
If only we weren't.
Why couldn't we talk about this before? No.
Restart it.
I'll edit this or something, it'll be
I
fun.
kept saying Leslie every 2 seconds. We were fools.
Yeah, the Leslie part would have been way more magic. It would have been such good viewership stuff. Anyways, I think it's if only we weren't weebs. I think we're good on that. More like if only we didn't watch dubs. Am I right, guys? Hey!
Watch the dub.
Everyone here watched dubs, Dobler. We're like the only pure people. I didn't watch dubs.
okay.
It's just me and you who watch the sub.
We like that's like every meeting, Dobler.
No, but like I didn't even know the show had its sub or a dub rather.
I mean,
Yeah,
to be
not
fair,
a
I
bad
watched
dub
it
either.
first
It's
at
a really
sub,
good
and
dub.
then I didn't realize that there was a dub out now, so I just rewatched it in dub to refresh my memory.
Ah,
I actually don't really like Mori's voice very much, so
in the Japanese.
more in yeah. in
It's
Japanese.
good.
I like it a
Some-
lot in dub, but
Or
we'll
dub.
get to that at some point.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea. Let's finish the intro that I really fucked up. Hey, so yeah, club, blah blah blah. Hey, I'm Josh. Chris, say hi.
Hi.
Dobler, say hi.
Yo.
Jeffy's not here. Mikel's not here. John, say hi.
Hi.
Leslie, say hi.
Hello.
And that's the squad. We're keeping this 5-person at a time unintentional thing going on. I am sure that no one will watch this anyway, so they don't even care. Excellent. Speaking of not watching, did anyone watch Souls at Work?
I did.
Yes.
I did actually.
Whoa, what the fuck's happening? Dobler, did you see it?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought.
I saw the title of episode 12 and I started crying.
This is like the reverse. Okay, this is good. This is a good club meeting so
You better
far.
not plan something really early after club, Josh.
No, I'm actually free today. Though I will say, if Diary of an MMO Junkie goes very long, I'll be very surprised. I'm cool with it, but I'll be very surprised.
Nah, I hear.
Okay, so yeah, just overall thoughts. I'm pretty sure 12 is not the last episode, to my recollection. I think
It's
there's
not the
it's
last episode.
yeah, there's still more. Yeah.
Yeah, because it said hemorrhagic shock part 1, so I'm assuming
Yeah.
it's going to keep going on.
So the reason I mentioned this is because next session we're doing the like multiple episode 1 watchings for next season. So yeah, you can do it, Leslie. I believe in you. We planned this. We have this.
We had,
I
like,
voted
one
against
overlap
this,
time.
by
It's
the
like-
way.
It's true.
We have like one overlap in one video, so it's what 12 things we gotta watch or something awful like that.
It's not too bad. I feel
Actually, 12's not that bad. That's one season.
it's one season. It's 1 season, 2 weeks. Watch Cells at Work, episode 13. I think that should be it. And then we'll have our ratings for Cells at Work next session. But just to let you know, this won't be the final one, even though we're going into fall next. Cool.
But still, though, that means I have to like go on Verve and search for things, and anything I can't find is just going to be automatically vetoed from my list watching.
I think I have the list of what's on Verve and what's not, though, just to let you know.
Oh, you're great. Thank
Oh,
you.
come on, guys, stop it. I'm glad we're recording that. Anyways, speaking of great or not, let's start with John and your thoughts on Cells at Work.
So not much has changed about my opinions on Cells at Work. I still think it's really cute, and people are still going to hammer along. It's like, oh, it's not scientifically accurate. It absolutely is not. I just still enjoy watching how they integrate things that are loosely correct. For instance, when White Blood Cell was pouring stuff on a germ to dissolve it and calling it phagocytosis, and like that's not how that works. Because if you were to show this to a science class, they're going to get the preconceived notion that, oh, it like phagocytosis happens outside the cell body. No. If it was correct, that white blood cell would be eating that germ.
Do you could add the educational stream to this YouTube video when I upload it? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, welcome to my TED Talk, guys.
Thank you, John. Anything else?
Other than that, no, not really. I still, I don't really watch it much for like scientific accuracy. I just like the cute characters and how it is a slice of life inside of the body, or monster of the week inside of the body. So I rather enjoy it.
I'm gonna debate. I don't think it's that slice of life. Real talk.
Yeah, I know it's not. I corrected myself. It's more like monster of the week.
I'm just saying in the future if this gets brought up, but regardless.
But Josh, it is
Yeah.
slice of life technically.
Oh, shut the fuck up! I'm so mad right now.
I don't know, like Monster of the Week makes you think Shonen is like the only.
I think it's kind of shonen-y. I'm not gonna lie.
It's very shonen-y,
Yeah.
especially when it has like the germ of the week that they're doing, and
I mean, 50% of every episode is action, which is basically like a shonen.
I guess, but like the fighter isn't the main character. I don't know.
Also, one last thing.
Like,
Whose
it's
idea?
not shonen that lives in a shonen world. Let's put it that way.
It's like the Moomin Rider, and then everyone else is the Saitama. Easy.
but Dobler, our bodies are a tournament arc that are ever.
Oh no!
Oh no!
No tournament
Yeah,
arc.
we're only 10 minutes in. We can't troll this hard already.
Yes, we can. Don't
me.
dare us.
Speaking of which, John, anything else to add before I continue on?
One last thing. Whose bright idea was it for someone to put the main red blood cell in charge of training a newbie? Because that just sounds like a bad idea altogether. Because she gets lost every fucking time. We have just seen how incompetent she is as a red blood cell.
I'm surprised it's not Senpai.
Hyper confident, so like that's a perfect balance. The newbie just steers the incompetent senpai in the right. Right?
Yeah.
Senpai, you're going the wrong way. You need to go that direction. Right!
Right way. Okay, why don't we go to Dobler next?
Yeah. So episode 11 was sort of like the normal old stuff. It's like, oh, it's dark now. Otherwise, it's basically the same.
Mm-hmm.
But like then we got to 12. It's like, oh god, it's a recap episode. And then we got to the second half, which was suddenly darker, and actually really good. It probably my favorite half episode of the show, easily. It's just I have no idea what happened at the end with him suddenly coming on a scene of desolation. And
so did the body get shot? Like
I thought
There's head trauma of some
head
sort.
trauma, like concussion, maybe. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was not bullet related, but it'd be really fucking cool if it was.
Could be.
kind of look like it.
I mean, who knows?
Punk ass kid got shot in the head. Happens.
This kid gets like fucked up a lot, by the way.
Yeah.
They
You
don't
party
get
too
water,
hard.
they just start dying of
Yeah.
heat, and then they get cancer, and then like, what? Whose body
Yeah.
is this?
I know this is
It's susceptible to disease.
You have random cancer cells in your body. All
Yeah.
usually
Oh, yeah.
dealt with.
Mhm.
Like,
But
that's
this
what- I don't know
body, this body got food poisoning and the flu in the same week. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Like,
college
I think
kid,
the food
obviously.
like, a little bit of attitude that the body just dealt with, and the flu was the actual like only real one in my mind that like the body seemed to like actually react negatively, massively. To.
they had allergy, thank you.
Dehydration.
Oh right, allergy. Forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. Dehydration, dehydration was also big.
The dehydration needed like fucking like some fluids.
Yeah,
Like the vein.
the IV shit.
That is the entire plot of the entire episode. Yeah, he needed fluids.
They pray for rain, and then an IV comes from the heavens to pour saline solution into the body.
That was pretty great.
I'm not
The
gonna.
cells bathe in the god rain.
Like when the captain just walks out of the doors, like, Captain, what do we do? Rain.
Well, anything else, Dobler, before we continue on?
No, I think I'm good.
Cool. Chris, you're next.
No, I'd have to say there's not much change in the last two episodes. I will agree with Dobler though. The last half of episode 12 is probably the best thing they've put out since episode 1, where it got me with that like ooh ah new and shiny factor. The anime is definitely geared towards like a younger like childhood audience though, and probably something more akin to Magic School Bus. So
I still disagree with that, though.
I don't say that it's really meant for adults. So
Well, I don't think it's meant for adults. I think it's meant for like teenagers.
I mean, I'm just gonna say that
Whoa.
Magic School Bus is like 1,000 times better.
I
I
just
kind of
said
agree
it's
with
like
that.
Magic School Bus. I'm not saying it's better.
Oh.
I'm not comparing. I'm
Yeah.
comparing,
They're
but
definitely comparing.
I'm
a-
not
Yeah, no.
scaling against each other.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I'm a 27-year-old woman and I still love Magic School Bus.
Actually,
Yeah, but watch it on a weekly basis.
I do not watch it.
I'm not gonna lie. I also rewatched it recently, and I was like, "This is not as good as I remember." For me personally.
What?
Yeah, I know. Watashi wa Japanese desu. I got you.
Guys,
Wait. Okay, did you watch the Netflix remake?
No.
Or
Make a
The
Netflix?
original?
What?
They didn't break and it has like a different teacher, right? The Netflix one. It's not. I didn't watch that one, by the way.
They don't have
What?
Miss Frizzle?
Yeah,
How can you?
Miss Frizzle's like sister or something like that.
Guys-
Voiced by Kate McKinnon, I think.
I like.
You have an emergency episode to watch this.
That could be
Recording
like
canceled. Gotta watch the Magic School Bus.
that could be like our Extra Life or something is coming on. Maybe we can do that some charity thing. That'll be fun. I feel.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, we'll plan that in the later futures. But yeah, sorry, Leslie. I'm a heathen. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, it's fine. That was my question.
I would like to point out Leslie did not deny this fact. She was like, "Oh, I can live with this fact in my life." Anything else to add, Chris, before we continue on?
Nah, that's good. Cool.
I'll go next before Leslie, and basically I pup it a little bit more than what Chris says, but I'm a little bit more positive toward it. I said I kind of was originally hooked in because I thought it'd be more slice lifey, and I personally don't feel like it's as much. It's like more John's taste than my taste, which is nothing wrong with that. You know, actually, it might even be better for some viewers. But
Like John.
yeah, like John. But I like a lot what this anime does for like the community. I like, a lot of people are more into like some weird science shit. A lot of people like, care about body stuff now. I think the animation's good. I like some of the characters. I'm not as hooked into it because I'm not as much of a nerd as some people are, but as a cool jock bro, I guess I can deal with it. Speaking of dealing with it, Leslie, you're next.
Dealing with it? What do you mean? I'm not dealing with anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
Fair.
But anyway, so episode 11, I learned things. I've actually had heat stroke a couple times, so like watching what the cells do made me very, very sad and fearful of my own body, and it's just like I chugged a whole thing of water while I was watching it.
Yeah, remember to drink water, kids.
Remember to water your cells.
Water yourself, water yourself.
Where's hydration bot when you need her? We're on Twitch.
But anyway, so yeah, episode 11 was very return to form because the last few, like there was the filler one last week, and the other one that was last week was also kind of subpar. But then episode 12 happened, and it seemed to be just very, filler-y until the last few moments, and I thought the kid got shot, and I was just like, oh, so this is what happens when gunshots happen. Okay, cool.
I mean, I hope you're right. I just don't foresee it going that way.
Well, okay, because there's like the explosion came from the sky and went boom, and I don't know, it looked kind of bullet-sized.
I mean, like when they took medicine, like an explosion came from the sky, so it could be anything in my heart.
That's very true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, I hope you're right, because it'd be fucking so cool if you were right, but...
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
But that's it for me.
Sweet. I would like to remind everyone also that there are two other kind of Cells at Works in the manga form. Cells at Work Black, and I forgot the other title. But if this is like not your cup of tea, maybe the other two might be. Look it up in your discretion. I read a little bit of Cells at Work Black. I think it's pretty good actually. I never read the manga for this though, so it's hard to compare the two. But nonetheless, that's enough about Cells at Work. Once again, we will be finishing up the conversation, and we'll be giving our ratings of Cells at Work next meeting. Hopefully, everyone will be there. We'll see. But yeah. Any final thoughts on Cells at Work before we go on to Diary or Recovery? I can always say Diary. I have no idea why.
That Juno Suzume, you mean?
That thing.
Did anyone ever look up why the cells were like obsessed with buckwheat tea?
Isn't it just like good for the body or something? That's why I always assumed.
Because it's like I'm trying to look up buckwheat tea as like why would cells drink buckwheat tea or like what benefits of buckwheat tea are there, and like I don't know if this is all correct because everyone's saying buckwheat is good for preventing cancer, lowering blood pressure, losing weight. I'm just like, this sounds like bullshit.
That sounds like bullshit indeed. I just assumed it was like like hydration, but like drinking water while they're dehydrated would be weird. That's just what's my assumption. I have no idea what's right.
Just drinking like any kind of black tea as a diuretic while you're dehydrated sounds like a good plan. It's like drinking coffee.
Yeah, there you go. Something you would never do, John. Drink coffee.
Excuse.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on blast. I'm sorry.
Drinking 4 cups of coffee a day.
It was less. Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
Yo. Okay, you added yourself on that one. I was gonna add the conversation before you put the number down. At least it's only 4 now.
I have an addiction. I know.
Could have been worse. I've seen worse before.
In a row, right?
No, not in a row. Spread out.
You're good then. I know worse.
Yeah. Anyways, let's go on to the next anime. We're going back to the original format where we talk about the characters first, and we'll talk about some comparisons to other stuff, and then our overall thoughts. Cast is a little bit smaller this time around, so I don't think character conversation will be the longest, but who knows, maybe we'll get into deep talks regarding the characters, because there's a lot to talk about. Morioka would be our first, but first I gotta explain the anime in 1 minute. So, anyone got a timer for me?
Okay, whenever you're ready.
3, 2, 1. Yo, so Recovery of MMO Junkie, and I only remember the title of this because I have it in front of me now, is basically about this girl named Moriko Morikawa, and she basically quit her job after what we believe to be a abusive job relationship, and decides to go full on NEET. She decides to, while being a NEET, play in an MMO, because she remembers liking MMOs a lot in the past, and she plays a male character, even though she is female. And then, while online, she meets this person who is like an online female avatar, who turns out to be a guy. This guy is also a working employee, well, he works in the same company or has some working relationship back in the past. His name is Yuta Sakurai, and basically they play this MMO together. He has a friend named Homaru Kawai or something like that. And basically it's like a love story about how through this MMO they get slightly closer and closer until they meet in real life and they get together, essentially speaking.
52 seconds, not bad.
Nice, I'll take it. So, yeah, back to the original topic of characters. Moriko Morikawa, the main character, that NEET that I was talking about before. Anyone have any thoughts? Anyone have anything? Why don't we start with Leslie?
Yay! I was hoping you were going to pick me first.
Yay!
Because Mori is basically my spirit animal.
How so?
Okay, so if I, somehow lose my job and I have enough savings to live off of it for a year, yes, I would definitely do this. I would dive really deep into probably World of Warcraft, because that is my drug of choice.
Not a surprise here.
Kind of escape the world and never go outside and never want to meet anybody at all, ever. But, so, because this MMO is about a girl who lives the NEET life after being in a just heinous corporate heinous corporate relationship, which actually is more fleshed out in the comics, just so you guys know.
That's good to know.
Yeah, I was only able to track down the first half of the webcomic because it is on a Japanese-only app, kind of similar to like Webtoon or something like that, but you can't get it in the US, and I only found like rips and translations of the first half of the comic series, so...
Not surprising, sadly.
Yeah, I really wish I found it. But anyway, went off topic. So I can kind of relate to what she's going through, and then she meets a friend, and then they have this really cute friendship / kind of relationship, just slightly, because they're partners in game, and they're always doing cutesy things together. And I lost my train of thought. Give me a second.
No problem, take your time. Thankfully I can edit this in post.
Cool, thank you.
No problem.
She must have been making good money in order to live off of it for a year or so. I can't exactly remember the timeline, but
I think it has to be less than a year that this thing happens. It's definitely at least a few months, but I'm pretty sure it's less than a year.
Yep, I think it's less than a year, but it's like, wow, okay, so you're living this NEET lifestyle, you're able to buy stuff in game with your fun muns, and you live off beer and bread.
The dream.
Yes, the dream. But no, she's probably not actually my favorite character, but the one that I can most relate to. And I think that's all I can really say, because I keep losing my train of thought.
Before I go to the next person, what do you think about her avatar?
I like how she essentially picked the same avatar, just gender swapped, as the original game that she played.
Yes. I didn't even notice that at first, actually. Very good observation.
Well, she has this thing for blue hair and purple eyes, and considering that Yuta, I guess his name is, played the brown-haired character alongside her, he probably should have put 2 and 2 together a little bit sooner than he did. But you never know.
Very fair. Why don't we go to Chris next?
I thought she was a pretty good main character. she paints a pretty good picture of like a socially anxious person and how they just kind of like avoid the outside world and can absorb themselves in other tasks, in this case like MMOs. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I gotta say, for like the first whole, maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 episodes, I was kind of like rolling my eyes at everything this was.
Mm-hmm.
As a whole, though.
Mm-hmm.
Don't feel bad. I was too, but then it got good.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm not gonna go so far as good, but it definitely got better.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Just on Morioka in general. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the things she was supposed to do was supposed to be kind of funny throughout the show, but I maybe laughed like 3 times the whole time. Is this a romantic comedy?
I feel like it's a romantic
I think
comedy.
it's supposed to be.
Okay. Yeah, I laughed like maybe 3 times, that's all right.
Mm.
Clearly not my thing. I mean, I was over there like laughing at Grand Blue, so we know where I'm at.
Got him.
So I'm not gonna say it's the comedy's fault. It's clearly my fault. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can come up to think about as far as Morioka goes.
Very fair.
I would probably call this more of like a romantic dramedy than a comedy.
Is dramedy a thing? I wouldn't be surprised if it is. I wouldn't be surprised. I just never heard of it until now.
It is now.
Yeah, hey, we coined it now. First time you've ever heard it.
Royalties to,
Yeah. Please send them to josh.jpg at pbs.com. Speaking of, John, why don't you go next?
So I really thought that Morioka was super funny. I
Mhm.
laughed a lot at just her interactions because I kept thinking about, oh, that's me half the time. That's so fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
Just the amount of anxiety she had. Like, I had a moment during that episode where she was asking for Christmas chicken, where I had a similar experience at the checkout line when someone was going to get something at the same time. We had both grabbed the last pack of gum, and I was like, no, you have it. No, you have it. And then we both didn't take it, and I just walked away as fast as I could to my car, and I was just like, nope, don't look at me. I'm going to go home.
I mean, that's very sad, but...
But overall, I thought she was like a pretty funny character. I did like her as main character. She wasn't wallpaper, so that's a plus.
Very fair. I'm gonna go to Jeffy's opinion next, just because I don't forget them. His thoughts. I liked her. I wish they went into more why she had a nervous breakdown and needed to leave work, but I guess that's something to look forward to if there's a season 2. He'd know about Leslie's comments, of course. Can relate to going through a trash phase and finding refuge in a MMO. Adorable at all times and definitely waifu material. Her character wishing the whole food market was dead while shopping for the first time in a scene was like a mirror. As far as harem anime leads, I like her character. I don't really think she's a harem anime lead, but nonetheless.
Not really.
Yeah. Especially in the super laid-back, grounded anime about people who play anime MMO games online. Her relationship with Yuta is mostly pure. I'd say they would be the OTP, but that is reserved for Hanbei and his guild. Very fair. I really like how his relationship progressed through the series, both online and IRL. The lightning strike twice of both of them knowing each other intimately in a previous MMO, and how that played out I had trepidations towards, but then grew to accept and embrace. Her relationship with Kowai gave me grave anxiety. I feel like she was alone with a predator, especially
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll have plenty of talk about that later.
when we get to him. Yeah. Especially with what's going on with the media recently. Her relationship with Fujimoto was short-lived, never really stayed, and, Kanbei knows that guild members can't date. He had to bow out respectably and not take it like a little bitch. Cough, Sakurai, cough, cough. That is Jeffy's notes. Very insightful of you.
He was pretty on top of that. But do you guys want to know like what happened with her in the comics?
Sure.
Yeah.
Actually,
Okay.
that was one of my complaint too. Is that like I wanted to know more, and the anime just sort of ignored it.
I agree.
Yeah, they basically ignored it. In the comic, it was kind of it was fleshed out, but not like super duper fleshed out. But basically, what had been happening is she was being taken advantage of at work, and all of everyone else's work was being piled on top of her. So she just was overworking herself, constantly taking overtime because no one else wanted to do their job. And then the Lichpin, which you guys will remember in episode 1, she gets flowers. Her boss tried, well, basically sexual harassment. So she was just like, I'm done with this place. I'm done being taken advantage of. Being a woman sucks. So she decides to quit her job, and that's why she became a male character online, is because she didn't want to be harassed.
Interesting. That makes sense.
Being implied on that, like we saw that she was definitely being, like, I definitely got the impression that she was having a whole bunch of work being pushed on her, and she even says at one point that her boss left, and it's 11 o'clock, and she's still there working. And it's like, I can fill in the gaps here.
Yeah, I mean, she did cry on the phone that one time, and I'm just like, usually people who are happy with their lives don't cry on the phone with a random stranger, so.
That's very true. But yeah, the sexual harassment thing was like kind of the thing that was really glossed over. You kind of got hints of it at the first episode, but you have to read the comic to get that information.
I didn't even recognize it.
Maybe I'm
climate of freaking. I watched it like after Kavanaugh gets accused, so like in the climate of thinking about it, I missed it. So
maybe I put 2 and 2 together because I watched MMO Junkie. I want to say like 4 months ago. And then I was just so obsessed with it. It's like, oh, there's no season 2. Fine, I'll track down the comic. And I tracked down the comic, and I'm like, that's why she got flowers. Oh my god, no.
That's fuck man.
Speaking of fuck man, that's a bad transition actually. Ignore that transition part actually. Cross it out. Nobler, go next.
Put like a Pikachu sound over.
Yeah, Pika. We're still homies, right?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that word means.
Oh, you know what? Let's go with that. Tell me when you're ready.
Like, where is homie on the friendship spectrum?
It's at least a date, I feel.
At least an 8.
It's at least a date. Yeah, we're homies. We're 80s.
Right. So thoughts. So one of my big complaints was that, like, I really wish the anime had delved into her character, because I really thought it was going to, because it seemed to be where it was going from the first couple episodes. Was it was going to delve into what had caused her to just, literally flip her life over, and then it just sort of doesn't. And it's actually, knowing what Leslie tells me just reframes so much of the anime and makes it actually a lot worse in my mind. Which we'll talk about more when we get to Toiwai.
Sure.
But like, literally my brain is just sort of like going in circles, just like reframing everything. It's
My brain did the same thing when I read the comics, so I understand.
But so I guess another thing that was one of my complaints was that, like, I wish the anime had focused more on gender stuff in general, because you have these two characters who are both playing opposite genders, cross-playing. I don't know if that's a word, but I'm making it a word. It has a word for it.
It's a thing in the cosplay community, to what I know.
No, I mean, is cross-play like the word though?
Yeah.
Sweet. Got it in one. Okay. So you have all this stuff about cross-playing and how, like, so especially like early on, like we saw Lily getting bombarded as a girl by men, and like her reaction to it was just like, I don't want to be here. And then we sort of put Morioka in the same situation, and the anime is like, you're going on a date now, and I'm just sort of like, what? I wanted this anime to be better about that, and it didn't want to be better than that. Like, that was not what the anime wanted to be, which is fine, I guess. But
it would have been cooler if it did.
Yeah, I definitely would have preferred that it, like whenever something feels like it's raising a question and then ignores it. That's like the thing I hate most about fiction in general. And this anime does that a lot. Like, apparently the comic's better, at least in this one regard. But yeah,
very interesting. Anything else to add, Dober?
I think I'm good.
Cool. Then I'll end it with Miko's notes. Suffering sailor woman just finally says F her job. Can't blame her, but must have been a great paying job due to becoming just a full NEET after. By the way, claims to be an elite NEET, but she's basically a noob in the game. Really, get good. But otherwise, she's a reasonable protag.
That is definitely Mikhail.
Yep. As she becomes more of a NEET, she follows the trope of being unusually emotional. Don't understand why. Yep, that's Mikhail's notes. 100% definitely Mikhail wrote them.
Yep.
So.
I mean, I definitely do feel like she becomes girlier the further in we get, which is, again, like, why is this anime not actually delving into gender issues more? Because it seems to very much want to raise them.
Mm-hmm. This is a fair point. I said I don't know if it wants to raise them, but it definitely is like putting up the flags to raise them if it wanted to.
Them, I guess.
Yeah.
It might not want to, but it raised them.
Yeah, for sure.
There's also, it seems the anime kind of went off the rails from the comic because I think the webcomic was still in development and they didn't know how to close out the series necessarily.
Oh, one of those.
So where does it break off then?
So I'm not sure if this is just because this is the only part that I found or if this breaks off because where I stopped in the comic was before they... I don't want to say before they met each other, but before they came to the romantic conclusion, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I think that's just where it like cut off. But I do remember reading somewhere that the webcomic had not caught up to where they were in the anime. So the anime writers ended up having to work with the author to finish it out.
I mean, that sounds normalish.
Mm-hmm.
But
at least they worked with the author instead of just doing on their own thing, kind of like what they did with the original Full Metal Alchemist.
I mean, like the original Full Metal Alchemist, like the author doesn't want to upstage themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have stuff like Game of Thrones, where working with the author seems to have backfired horribly. Because
That's true.
we got broad plot points, but we don't know how to get there. And the author's solution was to write 50 more books. And the show's solution is to explode everyone and forget logic and have birds travel at the speed of sound. I don't know.
What is this, Lord of the Rings?
No, it's not Lord of the Rings.
I was gonna say. Didn't they have that flying thing that went super... Never mind. I don't do anything Lord of the Rings related, so I'm not going to delve into this. Anything else Moriko related for anyone before I continue on? Sweet. Okay. Yuta Sakurai, aka Guy, playing as the female priest online. I think it's a priest class at least. Healing class regardless. Why don't we start with Chris?
He was kind of bland, I thought. He was definitely like good at everything he did. I mean, he's good at his job, clearly. He says the right things at the right time, like some sort of like Romeo bullshit in the middle of the streets. Gets all the prizes in the game. Cooks real well. Like, he's kind of boring. He's got no flaws. I don't know.
Well, I
Not
think
my favorite.
I actually, if you don't mind me cutting in for a second, Chris, I agree with most of what you
He's
said.
awkward, but
Yeah.
he can be awkward at times, and that's it.
I think his flaw, in my opinion, that they're trying to portray, whether you believe it or not, is that he's insecure. That's why he lets like Kawhi go with. Yeah, he lets Kawhi do stuff because he's not secure with.
See that too.
I guess.
But
So he's a little awkward and insecure, but otherwise he's like, I don't know. He's clearly has no reason to be that way though.
Sure, but that's a lot of people who are insecure, right?
I don't know. I've never taken a survey of people's skills and insecurity. But
I guess.
for the sake of all moral goodness, yes.
Very fair. Since Dobler's siding with me and I like being praised, Dobler, why don't you go next?
Oh God. So I guess this plays back into sort of like the gender thing because I sort of get out the impression, especially in the early episodes, that he was a lot more comfortable being a girl online than he was being a manly person in real life, and I thought that again the anime might sort of delve into that, and then it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
It went for the love story. But I guess this is a good time to point out this anime's love of coincidences.
Yes, 100%.
So so two characters meet. Like,
Mhm.
obviously, the main characters are going to meet in the game in the
Mhm.
first place. It wouldn't be much of a story if they never met.
Sure.
And they meet in real life, too. It's like, okay.
Sure.
Like, that sort of adds drama. That's
Yeah.
a reasonable thing. Like, again, like, you can't fault a story for having its characters be in the same room.
Sure.
Then they were also playing... Then... so, actually, back up. Then they were both in the same supermarket together again.
Sure.
Then she winds up randomly starting to date his best friend because they were in the same supermarket together again.
Sure.
And another guild member works at the supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
And then it turns out that they were also playing the same game in the past. And it's like, there's a point somewhere along that line where I'm just not believing this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like suspension of disbelief has been shattered.
I will say though, in the anime's credit, they do say like, "There's no way this many coincidences can happen" in the show itself.
Okay, pointing out how contrived your plot is doesn't fix it.
Hey, at least they're not trying. At least they're not trying to hide it. At least they're not trying to hide it. That's what I'm trying to say.
They're kind of trying to hide it.
No, if you bring it up to the forefront, you're not trying to hide it. It's not even like kinda.
It's like Disney saying they're not trying to hide princesses, but in Moana they said you have an animal sidekick, and if you sing a song, you're a Disney princess.
I really thought you were going to reference the Ralph too.
Yeah, me too. Real talk. Isn't Moana actually a princess though? Like in
Yes, she's legitimately a princess.
Yeah.
I thought she was
Well, technically daughter of a chieftain, so I don't know. Like technically it's royalty, but I don't know as far as a princess.
I don't really know Islander
I don't know
hierarchy too.
Polynesian,
Yeah.
Like Mulan is a non-princess one, right? And yet look at her. She's
Non-princess
just a
princess?
now.
Technically yes, technically no.
Doesn't she marry? Isn't he royalty?
Noble.
Is he just a noble? I don't remember. It's been a while since
I don't know if they ever tell you.
Also, fair point, if so. Anyways, this is not a Disney stream, much to the chagrin of many people and all our viewers. Yeah. Dobler, anything else to add, or?
Nope, I'm good.
Sweet. Then why don't I just go to a non-existent person before I go to John? But before John, let me go to Mikkel.
The most confusing transition of all.
Yeah, I had to delay it because I didn't actually have the notes up, despite what my heart wanted to do. So I added in words that were not necessary. Anyways, Yuta Sakurai wins Smash, worst Sakurai of all time, but a decent Yuta. Really is a GIRL. Well, live your life. Truly a nice dude, but his background of being an orphan made me feel he was too much. Ooh, I should definitely not delete the words he say next. That would be weird. Definitely makes me feel like he was too much of a lonely person trope.
I need to know what he said.
It sells the shipping, but not needed. Basically, he's mad about the orphan.
I demand the release of the unedited notes.
No, I clicked undo after.
Okay.
But like I was reading it, and I deleted it by accident. I'm like, uh-oh, give me a second to undo everything.
Okay, I thought there was something in there.
No. You're expecting deep dialogue from our viewers? Come on.
No, I was expecting excessive profanity. I wanted to read it.
No, there's no F words, there's no A words, no S words. We're all good.
Come on, baby
no
notes.
words at all?
Yeah, well, I can make that happen if you want to.
Entire document?
Delete. Actually, let me see. I don't think Mikhail swears in his entire notes.
Actually, I don't. No, I've heard Mikhail swear, but not much.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm going there.
I've
This
heard
has got
Mikhail
the
swear a
form.
lot.
I was gonna say Mikhail swears when like making an exclamation, like he's like "fuck John" or something. He'll say that.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. That's why I know Mikhail curses.
Reasonable.
Excuse me, sorry. I'm not John, so I don't pay attention to that.
Also reasonable.
It's more like "God damn you, Dobler"
That's
to me.
That's a D word, which is a no word. This Christian chat. Speaking of Christian chat, why don't you go next, John?
I do think that Sakurai actually does have a big flaw, and that's his need for loot boxes and gambling.
Oh fuck! Got him.
Get serious.
Getting deep.
Because he literally pays so much for loot boxes just to get the shit he wants.
John, it's not gambling if you just pay to win like that.
I mean, he's got a good job. He's like head of corporate or whatever, so he can do whatever he wants with his money.
Yeah, tell him, guys.
It's not gambling anymore, John. I don't believe it's a weakness.
It was one time. Yeah.
Money is a superpower if Batman taught me anything.
Let someone play Fire Emblem in peace, John.
Oh man, gotta buy more orbs.
Gotta buy more orbs.
Oh no.
John, quick before.
Where's my Ike?
John, go quick before Chris kills you or something.
So,
Very passive.
I do 100% agree he does have a self-confidence problem,
Mhm.
as pointed out by Josh. I
Thank
do
you.
100% agree with that.
Mhm.
Mainly because, like, I kind of inserted myself in there because a lot of characters, well, except for Koiwai, that I kind of insert myself into, and I can see from their perspective. So I really did sympathize a lot with Sakurai. So I like this character a lot.
Mhm.
Although he was pretty much boring for anything other than, well, actually, he was a mostly boring character except for when he was talking to Morioka.
Mhm. Fair. Anything else to add, or?
That's it.
Cool. I will end this with Jeffy's notes as soon as I find them. Excellent. I don't know why I don't pull these up. Anyways, sweet baby.
Bless you for sparing me.
Well, you'll go. Don't worry, Leslie. Don't worry, you'll go. I was gonna go next,
Thanks.
transition-wise. No problem. Anyways, Jeffy says, "Sweet baby dumpling feels bad for all of his secrets he has to bear, but comes clean in the end. His phone dies, and he sees a second chance, and he comes out. He's not perfect and needs to process so many emotions through the whole series, ranging from falling in love, jealousy, guilt, depression. He probably has the largest range of emotion in the anime. Puts up with Kawai's ass, so he's a kind soul." Interesting. Actually, that's a new take. I feel being the most expressive in emotions. Interesting feedback, Jeffy. I wish you were here to talk more about that. But since I'm not you, I won't pretend to be you.
I can kind of see it. But I'll try to.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
I can see it. Like Morioka can't really express her feelings very well. This is definitely true.
Her one emotion is anxiety.
Yeah,
She's me.
And Koiwai's only emotion is being a dick. So by default, he does win that contest.
Very fair. Leslie, I did not forget about you, much to popular belief. What do you think?
So Sakurai is the most precious being.
Okay, good talk. Thank you, Leslie. Please continue, sorry.
Especially when he's Lily. It's just like, you must protect and attack all who try.
Uh-huh.
That's why I said thank you.
I regret nothing. I regret none of these actions, actually.
All I remember about his character is that he is the sail to my ship, and that's all he needs to be.
I'm so bad right now.
Wait, so do you not ship the canon ship?
No. I do ship the cannon ship, but he's the sail, so he's the essential part of the ship. But
I feel like the ship itself is the essential part. I don't like to sink.
Well, okay, Mori's the rock. She's the base of the ship. She's the one who keeps it afloat. And Sakurai is the one who makes it sail, but only once he gets up the courage to actually talk to Mori. Therefore, he establishes himself as a sail, and the boat sails.
Okay, so I don't know anything about ships. Is there rocks on ships usually or something?
Yeah, cannonballs.
Oh, is that... I just want to make sure that I'm not like away from the times or something.
She's supposed to be the base.
Oh, okay. I know what that word means.
I'm no sailor, but I'm pretty sure rocks sink.
I was gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure that would make the shipping of the whole sailing thing way harder if there were just like rocks on the ship.
My metaphor ran away.
My metaphor sank like the rock.
Very fair.
I'm just dying.
I'm gonna go play with my toy boat.
Well, I think that's enough on Sakura right now. Okay. Next is Homaru Kawai. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm gonna be real.
Koiwai.
Kawai. Oh yeah, Koiwai.
There you go.
Thank you. I'll start with Jeffy actually. He ranges from an asshole to good guy, but the latter doesn't excuse his actions. One does not wash away the sins away from the other. I'm glad he ends up alone at the end of the season, though I do want to like the guy. His phone call courtship and of Moriko was endearing. but he's manipulative, mean-spirited to his friends. Large offenses and peppered in throughout the whole series. He wants the best for his friends, but he's a fucking psychopath. Though the dude does know how to roll an MMO character. Jeffy's thoughts.
I don't know why everyone is hating on this guy so bad.
I will be on
Like, everything he did was for Sakurai and Moriko. That was like his only purpose existed, is to like see them together and happy.
Chris, I'll help you out on that one.
I mean, except for that like one creep pick he took, which was like
That's definitely the minus of my boat, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the one hard minus I could see, but like everyone's been hating on like Koi or whatever the fuck his name is.
Koi.
Koi.
Koi like the fish, and then why is he here?
Oh. Damn.
But like, all right, his English voice actor was also like really good, so I'm biased there because every time he was on scene, he was able to get a laugh out of me just through his voice acting alone.
Yes.
Yeah. Like he stole all the comedy scene in the OVA. He's just like perfect in every way. I don't know who else watched the OVA.
I watched the OVA.
I did a long time ago, so I barely remember it.
So I'm the only one who didn't, is what I'm getting at.
Whoa.
Do you want me to spoil it?
It's not really much to spoil.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we all know it already, but yeah, that whole bikini bit was just wonderful and made better by him.
Agreed.
He's such a good sport about it too. He's like, well, I made the rules.
Wait, is there a scene of him in a bikini, really?
No, so he
no.
is the final boss in the MMO because he captured, so Yuta and Morioka were both transported into the game, and Koiwai was like the Demon King, like the final boss, and
It's a dream.
It's a whole dream, and the way to beat him, the sure way to beat him, is to put on this like very skimpy bikini that's literally just strings and like 3 patches.
Right,
And it was initially supposed to be Morioka supposed to wear it, but then like, if you want me to spoil it,
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sakurai said, it didn't say that the hero has to wear it, so then he takes off his cloak, and then he's wearing it underneath, and Koiwai's like, well, I made the rules, alright, I'm defeated now.
I should have been more specific!
Okay.
So it's like, I don't know how y'all can hate him so bad. Such a good boy.
I guess if you watched him on the dub, then he's fine. Because I also feel the same way that Chris does about Kowai. Like, he was fine. He's just a lovable asshole.
I mean, is he really an I mean, he teases
He
people,
is
yeah, I
100%
guess.
an asshole.
Yeah.
He does love to tease his friends, but and I guess he does kind of like pressure people into things. But
As he did.
And he likes to call Sakurai princess in the most amazing
Princess
voice.
Sakura.
yeah,
Why don't we go to Dobler next
thinks he's
for his
cute.
counter opinion?
Yeah, so Koiwai is not okay. Him running up to Morioka and badgering her into going on a date with him is not okay.
is it really badgering?
It was 100% badgering. He just runs up to her and basically demands that she give him a date, and doesn't give her even the opportunity to say no. He gives her no escape from that situation other than saying yes.
That's true.
Her the wrong date, and then lies about telling her the wrong date, which is
Did he?
gaslighting.
I thought she just got the date wrong.
I looked on stuff online, and I'm pretty sure he just told her the wrong date, as part of his plan to get her and Sakurai together.
Watching the anime, it explained it that she just got the date wrong, but
that's what
maybe
he
I missed
told her.
something.
That's what he told her.
Or maybe one of them got the date wrong or something. I don't know.
I don't remember. I'll be real.
No, what it never was expressly stated, as far as I understood, that our boy here
a bit
was
weird, but he drove Morioka to feel like she had to spend $200 on remaking herself, or the equivalent of $200, because she spent about 20,000 yen on it.
I can't blame him on that. I mean, he didn't know what was going to happen when he asked her out on a date, or how much money she'd blow.
I mean, he's still responsible for this.
I think she's responsible for that action.
I mean, for putting her in the situation where she feels like she has to do this in order to just be she should not feel like she has to go on a date with this guy she's only spoken to over the phone ever.
I mean, you're right, but like he didn't spend that money. He didn't take it out of it. He didn't like to have these demands that she dressed in a certain way.
I mean, to his recollection, the last time he talked to her was like in the company, so he might have thought that she still had some money, even though she's not working right now.
I mean,
and I'm sure he also has no concept of how much makeup costs or getting ready in the morning for a woman costs because he's just the total bro dude.
Oh, of course he doesn't. But
so like
that doesn't make. Yeah, it just doesn't make it okay. Anything he does.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, it's just his pattern is just like, oh, and then he basically makes her play the game with him and makes her, and just like calling out and saying, "Hey, play this game with me," which is bizarre. And yeah, no, like every time he's on screen, I'm just feeling more and more uncomfortable with everything he does and says. So yeah,
reasonable. Well, I definitely like the fact that we have different opinions on this because, debate is the fuel of conversation or whatever stupid thing like that. Let me go to Mikkel next if that's cool with everyone. That'll make the spirits better. Yeah. Let's see. I didn't even read this ahead of time, so let me see what it is. Oh, fuck. You can't tell me this isn't Josh. We should see if this should be redubbed as Josh instead of Kawai. Laid back.
God.
Yeah. Best IRL support, laid back, good friend. Help the plot a lot.
Yeah. Also, without him, there is no plot. So you can't even like this anime without kind of liking him.
I will admit, I personally think he's funny on screen, whether or not I agree with his actions or not. I'm not going to get into that one, but I think he's definitely funny on screen.
Very political.
Yeah, this is what we started off with political, we'll end with political. It'll be good. Did I miss anyone? I feel like I missed a lot of people.
Me.
Did I miss anyone? Sorry, go ahead.
Don't mind me, just playing with my toy boat.
There you go. Well, why don't we go to Leslie first, because I went Leslie last time.
Okay. Basically, yeah, it's already been covered, but I kind of feel the same way that Chris feels. I've personally met guys like this dude, and although they're creepy, generally they have like a good motivation as to what they're doing. I didn't like how manipulative he was, but I feel as if he wasn't manipulative, then Sakurai would not have gotten the courage to actually talk to Mori. So there's that. Also, I really like his English voice actor, and I should probably look up who he is, because I have a feeling I've heard his voice before.
Was it also fucking Edward Elric as the
As Hayashi!
Yeah, wasn't it? Vic Manyagan or whatever.
Vic Manyagan.
Filet mignon.
Alright, there we go.
Filet mignon, I'm going
The fuck
with
even
that.
knows this guy's last name?
Say what you want about Vic and his like personal issues, but then anytime Vic Manyagan comes up in something, I have to pick him out.
I didn't know he had personal issues. I just know his name is terribly hard to say.
He's been
or
accused online as being a creep because a lot of his fans are really young.
Mm.
I also heard that he's a real dick in person.
Yeah, I heard this too as well.
Yo, I've just seen videos of him standing up to like
yeah. Dear Vic Manamana, please don't hate on us.
No.
Sure
I think he means well. I think it's just internet rumors that are kind of sort of unfounded, and the fact that there were like protesters outside of a convention that were protesting against LGBTQ things, and he just straight up yelled at them and so it's like, what right do you have to tell people how to live? So
yeah, see, there you go.
Good dude overall.
Well, as much as I like going even more political and stirring the pot, is there anything
if we want to go political, we will have talked about the author, but that's another story.
Oh yeah, trust me, I know about the details of that too.
Oh, wait,
whoa, what? Okay, hold on.
Hear these.
Oh, you guys don't know this? I'm very surprised.
know.
Back it up.
Oh, dang. You can explain it, John. Go ahead.
Wow.
So the author
Good boy.
of the series has had some very anti-Semitic tweets, and now people are calling him a Nazi because he did put out a bunch of anti-Semitic tweets.
Yeah.
Yes, I did know about this, unfortunately.
Though different from the anime creator, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm
Wait,
pretty sure.
What do you mean? So this is just the author of the comic, you mean?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Still a oopsie subject for sure.
Don't they know better by now? Like not.
Yeah, I thought
Like,
Japanese
don't
writers-
people just know better to not say dumb shit on like Twitter?
I mean, I wasn't aware that there was that strong of anti-Semitism in Japan. That's what surprises me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, I haven't heard.
Like, they-
You're an
like, they-
isolated culture. It's just, I guess it's gonna have its pockets, right?
No, I mean like the crazy Japanese right wing people are like World War II deniers and stuff like that usually.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's part of it, not to be like throwing cards into the race, but
The
World War
history
II
of the
haters.
atomic bomb was made up.
Whoa.
I think they don't deny the atomic bomb.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one's a little harder.
It had no reasons, or I mean, it was also heavily, arguably unnecessary. But that's
Mhm.
World War II talk for a different.
Yeah, let's not delve into that.
Yeah, this is
That's too big.
recovery of deep conversation. Speaking of what, John, why don't you go next on your opinion?
Okay, so I'll be 100% honest. When I first saw this series in Japanese, I 100% thought Koiwai was like a creep rapist that was going to like do something to Morioka or build up Sakurai
Mhm.
and establish a relationship with Morioka and Sakurai just so that he can swoop in and steal her away just to break down Sakurai's spirits. I 100% thought that was the case.
Mhm.
But when I saw him in dub and watching the series the second time, I thought he was a really cool dude. Like, sure, he is very forward, very boisterous, very manipulative.
Mhm.
But
Very
if you have a
fun.
chicken shit friend like Sakurai,
Dang.
you kind of need to do that, especially if you see like chemistry between these two things, or you see like one of your best friends talking about a girl that they really like but don't have the courage to talk to them. The way that he was able to set up a quote unquote date just so that he can make the date wrong,
Mhm.
Wait,
so that Sakurai can
where's it
swoop in and
confirmed
like,
that he did this on purpose?
I'm not entirely sure. I have to go back and I'll probably.
Okay, well,
amend
you've
my
seen it
statement
twice,
later.
so I guess I'll give it to you. I only saw it once, and I was playing Slay the Spire, so yeah.
So,
But-
so what I'm getting out of this is like, apparently the dub magically makes him good.
I don't know why.
I definitely heard a lot of this.
I don't know why, but like I think he's a better guy in the dub. I don't know if
wouldn't
it's
it
the
be hard to be a
subtitles
better
or the
guy
way
in
he
dub,
talks.
But like,
Maybe
I don't
it's just the translation differences.
Yeah, because like I don't know, in the sub it felt like he was going like during the creep shot thing, I thought he was actually gonna like do some stuff to her, but in the dub it's like no, he's just a lighthearted guy and was just busting Sakurai's chops.
You know, like
Just to
MVP
test his, like,
wingman.
Just to like, oh, I want to see if he actually cares about this girl. Oh, look what I'm gonna do. And then it's like, oh, you actually came. See, I knew you had something for her. I'm actually gonna try harder now to get you two together.
Can anyone else confirm these claims? Just out of curiosity, I think Leslie said it too, but like Chris, do you think so?
Do I think I've never seen the stuff?
Oh yeah, that's true. Sorry.
I saw that there was a dub, and I'm like, great.
Fair.
And
Yeah,
the
I
dub
don't
wasn't
know why.
bad, so
But like I guess it's just like the subtitles or the translation, but I think he's just a relatively cool dude. I know that he's like I agree with you, Dobler, in some aspects, like the fact that he trapped her into the conversation, the fact that he trapped her into doing into going on the date in the first place, pretty scummy. I agree with that. But doing the MMO thing or playing the game with her or like asking her to like, hey, let's play this game together. That's just him expressing interest in what she does because his friend Sakurai is also big into MMOs. So he's expressing interest in what she does and wants to see if he can connect with her some other way so that he can push forward Sakurai more.
yeah, preach. Got to know the art of the wingman, Dobes.
Uh oh. Walks away very quickly. I think this is enough fire topics for now. I'm gonna continue on if that's cool with everyone else.
Did we get everyone?
I think we got everyone. I'm not gonna lie. I think Kawhi. Yeah. That guy. I think
it means like little. Like, well, it can mean little
Koi why?
celebration. I doubt it's written like that, but it could mean little celebration.
Look,
Little celebration.
Oh, he's a little party in his pants.
runs away. Okay, let's talk about the remaining guild members. This is really just Kanbei and then some other stuff. But yeah,
Fuck them.
Chris has opinions. Why don't we start with Chris?
I mean, they're really non-characters except for Kanbei, who's really not even really a character. He's just, like everyone mentioned, or like Dobler was saying, way too coincidentally living down the road from both of these other two members in his guild.
Mm-hmm.
The other characters really didn't have a role. For like half a second, I thought Tall Elf Guy was going to be Koiwai.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no joke. And he was already in on this game.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, there was maybe like one significant scene, like where I can't even remember Catgirl's like name, but she pushed the issue of how old are you and what do you do for a living as a part of that bet early on in the series.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, they were pretty insignificant because that set up the whole like dynamic of them keeping secrets from each other about who they are and what they are really like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess not what they're really like, but like their real life personality or person.
Fair.
Yeah, once the show started focusing on offline stuff, it never really went back. It was a one-way trip.
Yeah, there was like that one character who showed up when Koiwai was like on there. They're like, "Oh God, it's that lady," and I'm like, "Wait, is she part of the guild?" Like,
Also,
literally.
we saw the cat girl in real life, and then we
Oh, it
just
wasn't
sort of,
the
like,
cat
stopped
girl
seeing
though.
her
It
in
was
real
like
life.
some other character.
Well, I thought the cat girl said that she had like an in real life friend, and we saw her with that IRL friend in college or high school, wherever the fuck
we
they are.
did, but like
When I
she
saw
shows
that
up in
game
Morioka's
avatar,
door in the intro. I expected that to happen at some point.
oh, I thought that was showing up at Kanbei's door. To be honest with you,
Oh, well, whatever. She showed up at a door of
Because-
somebody with food or something.
but no, that like that random avatar who was in Muscle Lady's Great Adventure, who was supposedly part of the guild who Kanbei was talking to. I literally couldn't remember her as part of the guild.
The blonde-haired one?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. It's really even hard to place what she looks like because she's not big dude, skinny elf, Kanbei, or cat girl.
She's badass blonde girl. That's a trope too.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't think I've seen her before that moment.
They introduced her like right before, like maybe earlier in that episode. It might have been.
Well, that's how memorable the guild members were, in my opinion.
Other thoughts? Why don't we go to Leslie next?
Sorry, Dobler.
Sorry,
Sorry,
my
Dobler.
script kind of froze. Give me a minute.
No problem.
Oh, we're on Guildmates, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I didn't really have much in the way of these, other than Lilac. I could do without her. Both her sub voice and her dub voice were annoying. Therefore, punt her into the sun.
Damn.
Damn.
But as far as my favorite guildmate goes, I like Kanbei.
Mm-hmm.
He was the edgy guild dad, as I would like to call him. He means well. He also works at the convenience store that Mori buys her beer and sub cards and bread at, and is one of the few people that know her, well, kind of know her secret. I can't remember if it was actually revealed to him or not. 4 months ago, I watched this.
He knew.
But he
No,
was
it was.
probably
He
my
knew.
favorite. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Like, I thought he knew, but I just couldn't remember. But he was one of my favorites just based on their interactions, and he just seemed like a cool guy. Also, secondary ship is between Kanbei and Lilac, because why not?
Yeah.
Fair.
Spoken like a shipping pro.
Yup.
Hey,
Gotta make my rock boat somehow.
shipping is love. Shipping is life. I can't hate on that. Why don't we go to NPC Jeffy first? Let's go through. He wrote literally comments on almost all of them, so let's go real fast.
What a hero.
I know, right? Kanbei cares about his motherfucking guild. Will be super stickler and anal, wink face, at first encounter, but just because he has to manage all his feels he has for his guildmates, and with great feels comes great responsibility, so he keeps an arm's length at first to new members for fear of the whole feels love tower to come falling down. He knows most all of the inner workings of his guild and knows how to keep homeostasis with all their lies. As far as Kazumi Fujimoto goes, he crushes on a girl and takes it better than Yuta Sakurai did. Though Super Fate didn't destine them to be together like Sakurai, Lei, and Morikino are. I don't know these. Mori Cacchino. That's what he wrote.
Alright.
So I can't tell you much more than that.
That looks like an excellent autocorrect.
Let's hate on the first draft there.
Yeah.
Damn.
Next, Lilac. Someone who.
Also, Mikhail wants you to do his voice, apparently.
I have a voice for him?
Yeah, apparently he wants you to have one.
Oh.
Did you see that message pop up?
Trust me, when Mikhail types, I read like 25% of it.
Dirt.
Nice, got it.
Savage.
When it gets to Mikhail's time, I'll read it in a different voice. How's that sound?
25%.
No
I
problem.
hope Josh is using a voice
Yeah.
that he does for John.
Oh, I can change it up. We'll see. Anyways, Lilac, someone who Lily can bounce off of. Not much there engaging. Episode where she gets told by Kanbei that trying out colors other than the colors you normally wear makes you look bad. Stay in your lane. That was probably her most memorable episode. Gave a connection and gave some good scenes for Kanbei and his connection to the whole guild.
So now I'm seeing why Leslie ships them.
Yeah.
I'm remembering why we should ship them.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that whole ship episode.
I'm gonna ignore Poco Taro because I don't think it adds much. No offense, Jeffy. So I'm gonna go to Humorella.
Preach.
Least memorable. I actually have no idea who Humorella is, so this makes a lot of sense.
I think she was the one who showed up in the rock at the end for the Buff Lady episode.
That would make sense.
Or was it the elf?
I thought it was the
I don't know.
whatever.
There's a lot of non-memorable
The only reason I'm reading this is least memorable might as well have been furniture, and then he puts in bold and underscore and bigger font milk toast. Honestly, the middle-aged convenience store.
Toast.
Yeah, bold underscore bigger text exclamation point milk toast.
Keeping it alive.
Yeah. Hell,
Streak's a successful intro.
we just change our club name to milk toast. I'll remember that at least.
Only we weren't milk toast.
Milk toast stone ships.
Yeah.
That's not a terrible idea.
Not a terrible idea. I will agree with
I hate everyone this fucking.
You can also change it to that.
Oh,
Valid.
I was gonna say equally accurate. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, milk toast fans.
I mean, milk toast is more advertiser friendly than I hate everyone in this fucking club.
Sometimes it's about the truth and not the money.
Don't.
Okay, so that's all of Jeffy's notes. Which IRL person have I not got to yet?
You haven't got it to me, but I have like nothing to say about any of them.
Perfect. That's a good segue before we go to Mikkel. So go ahead, Nobler.
I have nothing to say.
I also have nothing to say on these characters.
Perfect.
Yeah, none of them really do anything ever. And the anime slowly forgets about more and more of them, and then introduces a new one for some reason.
Also perfect.
Thank you.
I'll take it. Okay. The John has nothing, so I'm gonna skip John unless you want to say something, John.
Is it also bad that like the guild leader in the convenience store is like, hey, did you know there's a promo going on? You should get more money for loot boxes.
No, that's just him being great at his job. How dare you?
Yeah.
It's called
You know how this
small talk.
works.
Convenience stores aren't like paid commission, as far as I know.
That should change.
Maybe
Yeah.
they are in Japan. I honestly have no idea.
Yo, but like being a cashier when all of your day is to make the beep boop noise so people can pay money, like sometimes it's kind of cool to have meaningful conversations with people that walk in your lane and you're just like, hey, so I see we have something in common. This is cool.
I mean, I've always thought that was kind of weird when people do that.
I mean, to the person who's just trying to go about their day, maybe you're like, please no talking.
I like it's like this is an
Like,
addiction.
okay.
I'm embarrassed that I'm buying loot boxes. Please don't talk to me.
Okay. Obviously, you read the situation first, but if they seem into the conversation, then yes. If not, back off.
That sounds worse than what Koiwai does, really.
Oh my god.
Oof. Big sweaty boys.
JK, I just want to make a funny.
Yeah.
Funny world.
I was gonna say it's 2018. Funny is dead.
Hey, no. We're going back to the right timeline now. The Bills winning was a sign of the.
That's the sign of the wrong
They haven't.
timeline.
No. Dobler, they haven't won the Super Bowl yet. That's when we know that the Four Horsemen are coming.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah, no. If we win the Super Bowl, 4 horsemen are coming. But winning one game, that's good timeline.
I don't know what's
Good timeline
I
right
thought
there,
this would be a
baby.
0-16 season. Okay.
I don't know what's happening anymore.
now, Josh.
How? What
All I
anime
know
is
is
sports
that-
from?
All I know is that there was a Bills player that
I-
leaped like the most graceful gazelle, and it was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. That's all I know.
I don't know this. I don't watch iShow 21, so I'm out of here.
Oh, that's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah,
Damn.
there. You're welcome.
IQ is the only thing that came to mind at first, though.
Condolences.
Yeah. I
Anyways,
heard it's good.
that John Sisters is a big fan, which is also a recurring meme I have to bring up.
Oh, jeez. John's sister. Yeah, we haven't talked about John's sisters in a few meetings because John hasn't been here.
It's true.
Aw.
John had this thing called a life. It's really fucking weird.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're not sorry. You
Oh,
fuck
you're
out. Yeah, you're proud of your lack of life or having a life. Anyways, yeah. So let me go to Mikkel's, who has a 3-hour commute. Dude, find a local job. Also, Kawhi was interesting and trusting as a leader. His real life sucks. He must have failed that interview. Sorry, bro. I think that's pretty much Mikkel from what I remember.
Yeah.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, thank
I'm
you.
not gonna listen to this recording.
Perfect. Thank you, John.
He'll totally listen. He's gonna only listen to the first part, though. He'll
Yeah.
never hear this bit.
Exactly. He's gonna give up in 10 minutes. We're fine.
You're like 20
He's gonna
bucks.
hear like your first reading of his stuff. It's like, oh, he didn't do a voice for me. Fucking, like,
Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen. 100%.
He'll never make it to the 40-minute mark where we did the Mikhail voice.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about comparison to other MMO shows. We watched Dad of Light, so I'm a little bummed that Mikkel isn't here to feel my wrath. But I guess there's other MMO shows too, like Sword of Light technically is. Log Horizon, if you ever seen it, Dot Hack, so on and so forth. Your thoughts compared to other MMOs? Why don't we start with Dobler?
Yeah, so the comparison to a lot of other MMOs is kind of weird, just because, like the other MMOs are very much stuck in the world. Is kind of like the common
Yep.
trappings that genre likes to go through. And this one, like, could have gone that route with her being metaphorically stuck in the world, and then it like sort of didn't feel like dealing with that at all. Which is a big contrast to the stuck in the game one, dot hack sign, which literally cares about nothing but raising and answering philosophical questions, which I love. Like, dot hack sign is actually, this anime made me want to rewatch dot hack sign. So
Or Dot Hack, Legend of the Twilight. The
Oh.
better version.
why do you keep bringing it up?
Screams.
I think it's the first time I've ever brought up that anime.
Yeah, you shouldn't do it again.
Dang!
My bad. I'll just go away now.
Know your
No,
role.
go away, stay.
it's okay. We all have trash
But yeah,
opinions.
it's I mean, it's definitely a better romance story than Sword Art Online, and I love my Sword Art Online trash. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, preach. I'm gonna watch that shitty ass anime
Well,
when
we're all
it
gonna watch
starts.
the first
I
episode.
mean, we have to watch
I
it.
purposely didn't vote for that because I do know what. Like, there's at least half the people didn't want to see that.
I think Leslie put us on it.
Leslie put us on.
And I'm cool with it. I'm watching it no matter what. I'm already hooked into this garbage.
Single tier.
And then you have Log Horizon, which is sort of. I feel like Log Horizon is probably the closest comparison, just in terms of character. Like, there's no real navel gazing or exploration of why any of this is happening
Navel
to them
gazing.
or who they are as people. But like Log Horizon, but at least this has a romance story, so I guess that puts it above Log Horizon in my mind.
Hey.
Oh wait, you can't. 'Cause you're
Tell him.
Damn, roasting
Fuck
all
the-
his shit, and he can't even defend it.
That's the
I'm
best
roasting
time to
everyone
roast
on this
someone, though.
stuff.
Yeah, that's the best time to roast someone, though.
Preach.
Yeah.
And now that we've roasted everyone over the coals, who wants to roast me?
Well,
I think your opinion was pretty spot on. Like, it is very different in the fact that it takes place in majority, or at least in equal parts, like Morika's computer and at the MMO. Because usually there's no way to tell the difference that the MMO is not what we're trying to watch, because there'll be things like, what was it, like Tower of Babylon, which is supposed to be a video game or something, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, and there's no scenes of the characters outside. There's very little reference of outside life. Or you get Dot Hack, where, like you said, it's all in world and not totally immersive.
Well, I mean,
So-
Dot Hack does have out of world scenes, which are deliberately made to seem less like realistic because.
I never watched Sign just because I played like a few of the first video games.
Sign, to Sign does not. Sign takes place before the video games. It's not the same story.
Oh, I did watch Dot Hack. The one with Elk.
Elk.
Elk is the main character of this Dot Hack.
That
right?
was Sign.
No, which one am I thinking about?
Skasa.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Wait, I thought it was Elk.
I thought it was Elk.
I feel like we're getting off track for some reason.
Tsukasa.
Anyway.
Yeah.
No.
Anyways.
Yeah.
I'm done with my shit. Dot Hack Sign. I'm gonna look up characters and tell Dobler about it in chat.
Nice. While you're doing that, why don't we go to John next?
Elk is a young wave master with a similar character design as Tsukasa, who
Gotcha.
follows the cat player Mia around all the time. He's from the game Infection, but he looks a lot like Tsukasa.
Oh, okay, that's why I got confused. Okay, yeah.
John, I'm sorry all your friends are weebs. My deepest condolences. If only they weren't.
If only we weren't weebs. So there's not really much I can add because everyone's been hitting home on the point that most MMO shows are, about them being trapped inside an MMO. Like Sword Arts, Overlord, shit like that. So we don't necessarily explore the IRL aspect. So seeing stuff like them falling asleep at their computer, pretty funny. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that being said, I haven't watched that many MMO shows, to be honest.
Fair, reasonable. Then do you like this in comparison to like a trapped in MMO kind of thing?
Yeah, I much prefer this than a trapped MMO thing because my point of reference is Sword Art, and although it's like super garbage, I still kind of like it, but not for long periods of time.
Fair, reasonable. Cool. Leslie, why don't you go next?
I think this topic's been fleshed out a bit, but the only other MMO show that took place semi in real life was season 2 of Sword Art Online.
Mm-hmm.
But this is significantly better than season 2 of Sword Art Online. And it actually has a plot, unlike season 2 of Sword Art Online.
Fair, reasonable.
That's all I have to say. Season 2 of Sword Art Online.
Okay then. Chris, you have anything else to add on this topic?
Obviously, I'm in rare form today.
I jumped in on Dobler, so I'm pretty done with this MMO.
Then I'll go to the NPCs. I'll start with Jeffy. Not really my genre, but I think this is the one I've seen where people aren't sucked in. There is no supernatural stuff. It's just people playing their computer. I'm glad they didn't use Dead of Light style animation for in-game. A moment of silence for Miko.
Light style animation.
The battle system and animation was better than Sword Art Online. Dag, got him. Oof.
No.
Oof.
No. That's a falsehood. Beautiful. It is a very well animated piece of garbage.
Oof.
It is a very pretty piece of garbage. It is spray painted gold.
We all accept we like trash things, but damn, is it good to look at?
It's A1. It's not. It's pretty hard not to not look at.
Mikkel's comments. I needed love stories to stop being hidden in gaming genre. On a scale of Sword Art Online, Arc to Log Horizon, it's about original Sword Art Online. On the arc where
that's good. I think that means it's good.
It's about. Sorry, let me interrupt. It's about original Sword Art Online in the arc where Jesus Kun has his honeymoon arc. I don't know what this means, by the way.
Okay.
Is that a positive or a negative?
No, it means it's bad.
Oh, okay. I'll have to take your word on it because I have literally no idea what that means.
That's more than halfway through the first season. That means it all got bad after that.
Interesting story. I've watched 10 minutes of Sword Art Online Alternative, which is the most Sword Art Online I've ever seen.
Is that like a fin, like
bad.
a bridge?
It's the gun shooter
not
one.
Even good trash.
Why would you watch the worst of the... I haven't even watched that shit. Watch Gun Gale Online. That one's way better.
I heard Alternative was good, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. This is what people told me.
Sword Art Online is probably the best season they ever made.
I gotta watch 2 seasons to watch it.
Is the best,
Well, they haven't put that out yet.
No, wait, how are you counting things? Mother Rosario is season 3. Is season 4 rather.
I put Gun Gale Online at 3. Maybe I'm just counting wrong.
Oh, so Gun Gale Online, like once the Gun Gale arc ends and they do like the arc that doesn't feature Kirito, that's the Mother Rosario arc. That's season 4. In my
Gotcha.
John,
Sorry,
Sorry,
Josh.
take Kirito out of it and make it gold.
John, what's happening?
I don't know.
Oh, Leslie saved me. Dusk.
On your own.
Literally everybody in this room knows what we're talking about right now.
I've seen 3 episodes of Inuyasha once. Yeah.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up! Don't let on anyone.
You want to see all the movies? I have the movies.
I actually never seen any of the movies.
I've seen all the movies too. It's awful.
No,
Oh my
wait,
god, John,
okay.
shut the fuck up.
So, movie night.
Uh-oh.
I have all 4 Inuyasha movies.
I'm not a...
So is that going to be our donation thing?
We'll let people decide. How's that sound? Until then,
That's good.
I'd rather not suffer without it being for charity, so...
These are DVDs, too.
Ah, a old relic from the past.
Yup.
I remember DVDs.
Those were the days.
Put them in a PS2, right?
Damn!
I most recently collected the last one, the last Inuyasha movie at a bargain bin at Walmart. So,
Whoa! That's where they deserve to be at nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, oh.
That's where they deserve to be at any point in their life.
Dang.
I've seen I think all of them on Netflix.
think
Everyone
so.
that had Netflix was on Netflix. I watched.
I don't think that's the
That's
entire.
true.
I don't think it's the entire thing though, if I recall correctly, on Netflix.
It was at one point, and I think they started releasing movies, and then they kind of fell off. But
Do they
the
have the-
second movie is the only one that matters.
They have the entire anime on Netflix. I thought they didn't for some reason.
They have a good chunk of it.
Yeah, I know they have a lot of it, but I don't think they have the entire.
They don't have the end up part of the anime. Oh, they only have two seasons actually.
Does
I lied.
Hulu,
He
does
just a little
Hulu still
sad
have
they
the
don't
rights
have the
to it?
I'm just a little sad they don't have the original
song.
opening.
Oh, it's so good. If I can defend. I can't defend a lot of Inuyasha, but I can definitely defend Inuyasha music, 100%.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So,
It's
one of
a
the-
jam.
it's one of the first things I learned how to play on piano.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
Little nerd Leslie.
You have no idea how big that show was in my life. It's
Yeah.
kind
mine too,
honestly,
sadly.
Imagine.
Yeah. Speaking of feeling good, let's talk about comparisons to other romances. Good segue, I feel. 10 out of 10. Why don't I start with Leslie?
This isn't Inuyasha. What the heck?
That's all your review had to be, but I'll let you continue for some reason.
No, it's okay. I actually found the romance to be really cute. I did like the way it developed. If you read any webcomics, for example, like webtoons or something like that, it's very akin to the webcomic style where it kind of plays out almost like a Korean drama.
Mm-hmm.
So I would kind of compare that to comics like IOWWW and maybe not Days of Hana, but it very much has like that Korean webcomic kind of feel in an anime.
Mhm.
But comparing it to other romances, I would say this one was probably slower paced than I would have liked.
Mm-hmm.
That's not necessarily a dig on the anime, but it was just, I felt like there were enough hints dropped to where it could have moved faster, but obviously since it was paced like a webcomic, you want to try to draw that out as much as possible. So it probably could have been translated to anime better and been actually shorter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
But-
can see that.
I think that's all I have at the moment because I don't have any particular romance to compare it to, but that's just kind of my observations.
Fair. I'll go to Mikkel next. Compared to other romance, it was good. Better than Gamers. Girlfriend couldn't stop being emotional about the parts that she saw.
Oh god, is it better than Gamers? That's tough.
It is.
It is.
I think.
It is not.
I agree with Chris, actually.
I'm honestly not sure, and I need to figure this out before I give it a score.
Yeah.
Well, just to confirm, the romance part is what Mikkel is talking about, not the show itself.
No, that is definitely not either.
Oh, just the romance part?
Yeah.
It's better than Gamers on romance.
No.
I agree with Chris. I like romance and Gamers. But anyways,
If we gotta agree, we know we got something.
the two worlds collide for a moment.
Listen, if Josh and I agree on things, it's almost proven to be fact.
That's
100%.
true. Like we all know Steins is the best anime for that reason.
Boo.
Yeah, it's 100% fact. Speaking of fact, John, lay it on us.
So Josh, you can attest to this, but
Uh-oh.
I was originally watching this anime a couple months back, and
Mhm.
at one point I texted Josh, "Is like I fucking hate anime,"
I can confirm this.
and then it was like, "Oh,
Always say
why
that.
is that?" And I said, "Because this fucking anime is like they're not talking to each other. It's just a big romance sort of bullshit. It's like they're not doing anything. Oh, I want to kill myself." And Josh's like, "Man, you would hate gamers then."
I did say it. I can 100% confirm I
Nice.
said this.
So I had very strong feelings about the romance, but after watching this, I kind of want to watch Wotakoi just so that I can compare it to something in terms of like romance in video games. Like, what if like the whole not knowing each other online was not a thing, and like they actually just got together right off the bat? It just makes me want to watch Wotakoi now.
You watched episode 1 of Wotakoi though, right? For
did.
Club before? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I just want to finish it now.
Yeah. Jeffy really likes that show. I don't know if he continued watching after because of busy life, but yeah, I could see that. Chris, I don't think you got to this yet, right?
Not talk about comparisons to other romances.
Yeah.
I think it's all right. I mean, it does kind of move. I mean, for being only 10 episodes, it takes them forever to get into the romance aspect.
Mhm.
Because, like, they get romance starting up around episode 5, which is like halfway through the show.
Mhm.
So it was. I can't think of any like to really compare it to at the moment because it's been a while since we watched romance that wasn't like gamers or. I guess Clannad. Like
Clannad is definitely a romance in my heart.
that one like moved even slower, I'd say, but it was still way more rewarding to see like everything pan out.
Mhm.
Just because of episode constrictions and all that.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. The romance was all right. They didn't really seem to have chemistry outside of like we like this game.
Fair. Okay. Yeah. Let me. I think that's all the IRL people, unless I'm missing someone. So I'm going to
I didn't do
go.
romance.
Oh yes, I forgot Dobler. Sorry, mine's wandering.
Dobler.
Go ahead, Dobler.
What do I know about romance?
Dobler Das.
Prove me wrong. Be the best wingman.
Yeah.
What?
Oof.
I don't
Ruts.
even know how I should act as being the first man, let alone the wingman.
Wingman's easier.
Mm-hmm.
Say so.
Trust me. 100%.
100%.
But yeah. So, I mean, if I compare this with Clannad, like Clannad just blows it out of the water. It's just such a better show, basically across the board.
Mhm.
In terms, especially in terms of how the romance feels natural, and feels like they're actually getting to know each other and everything, versus and not having everything just feel like coincidentally everything just sort of fell into place.
Mhm.
Like I feel like if this show kept going, it would turn out they were also childhood friends. Like, I'm not even joking.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, he just saved her from a burning building and forgot about it.
Oh my god.
I forgot about that. That is so weird.
I might have trash opinions, but I will like hit on that forever. I hate that.
Yeah, Kobane's arc in Clannad is definitely the roughest arc.
It's definitely shoehorned the fuck in there.
Yeah. Yeah. What else have I even watched that's really romance? 'Cause I don't really watch much romance. I mean, I guess I watched like 4 episodes of. I've watched 4 episodes of various random shoujos that were better. Oh, I'm gonna forget the Princess Tutu. That is a much better romance.
Boo.
The struggle of someone who just wants to dance with her beloved, but she can't because she's a duck.
Thinking emoticon.
That is just real drama right there. You can just feel that agony in that poor duck for being denied its one true desire in life.
More thinking emoticons.
Wrong.
Fair. You know what?
I
I'm just gonna
don't
not
know.
comment. Actually, I don't know either. Actually, I usually respond with fair, but I don't know if that's a fair in this current scenario.
Oh, that is a completely fair description of what Princess Tutu is.
No, I'll give you that. Anything else to add on romances, Dobler?
Anyways, yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Okay, I'll end it with Jeffy. I don't know. No, that's Mikael's voice. Sorry, I don't know either. Compared to my last one, Clannad, this is a reverse harem in my eyes. Instead of a club, it was a guild. Clannad had better suitors on average, with more compelling stories going around them. This one had a more relatable and grounded protag compared to an Ubermensch dealt with a shitty hand in Clannad. The relationships, both platonic and romantic, were more heartfelt and explored deeper in Clannad. Recovery had a lot of mystique and dramatic irony, which was doused out with better pacing than Clannad did. Cool. I still don't think this is a horror, by the way, Jeffy. Just telling you know right now. But none.
Yeah, it's not a
MMO Junkie?
Yeah.
Nah.
I'm pretty sure there's like only one love interest. Like you can debate the
Yeah, this
kawaii,
isn't a
but
horror.
yeah. But that's pretty much like knocked down as soon as it comes up. Anyways, overall thoughts. Let's start with Dobler.
Yeah, so overall, I guess one of the things that kind of bothered me as with the show is that the Japanese name translates to Netju is just a word that doesn't translate very well, but the title card translates the title as recommendation of the wonderful online life,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of close, except for it's very sarcastic.
Mm-hmm.
And especially knowing what Leslie said about what happened to Morioka beforehand, that really fits the anime very well.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Recovery of an MMO Junkie, which didn't feel like it fit the show well, and now that knowing more about Morioka, it just fits the show even less. It's just like when someone's retreating into an MMO because real life is the worst. I'm not calling them I'm not going to say that what they do is a recovery from being an MMO junkie. But yeah, and I do feel like that sort of almost callousness does infect a lot of it. Like I look at Koiwai, and everything he does is worse, knowing what Morioka went through. I look and just I don't know, basically, I like parts of it, but the more I think about this anime, the more frustrated I just become with it. So I guess I settled on a 5.
Cool. I will mark that down. Cool. Why don't we go to John next?
So if you told me about this anime, or if I were to give a score on this anime, the first time running through it, I would have been horrendously frustrated, and I would have probably given it a 3.
Okay.
But after rewatching it, looking at the characters, seeing all their interactions, I really did love this anime. Overall, I would definitely watch if there was a season 2 just to see more character development. I'm going to give it an 8.
Fair. I'm gonna go with an NPC next, and I'll go with Mikael. His overall thoughts. I need to read these descriptions more. I expected the story to have... Oops, sorry, wrong voice. I need to read these descriptions more. I expected the story to have a bit more MMO edition. Hell, the title of the intro isn't even the same title as advertised. Recovery of an MMO Junkie sounds more unique in marketing, but there isn't any recovery. I could stay interested in the title of Recommendation of the Wonderful Ritual Life. 6.5, so people actually do some reasonable MMO stuff in the series. Would get a 7 if more MMO stuff.
Oh my fucking god, Mikael.
That's Mikael for you.
Not enough MMO in an MMO Junkie anime.
Yeah. Too much love things, not enough MMO.
Yeah. To be fair, there was very little MMO.
But to be fair, is that really his biggest complaint?
Yeah, I mean,
that
he wanted MMO. I could see being disappointed.
He is an
I'm
MMO
gonna come
gamer.
to bat for Mikhail right now.
Yeah. I like the different perspective, admittedly. And I also like the fact this is Mikael's genuine score and not changed by dialogue. That's...
Yeah, oh my god, you're right. He
Yeah.
didn't change his score. Wait, what was his score again?
6.5.
Okay. See, but I can also understand being disappointed by content, because when you go to Gates and I thought it was going to be something else, I was so mad.
I disagree with that one, but...
I could be disappointed by what I got.
The show last night, I was kind of at a 7, and just over time, it's just the more I thought about it, the lower it got. I don't know.
Very fair. I'll go next. I'll give it a 7. I thought a lot of them were cute. I told Chris this, and I don't know if a lot of people will agree with me, but I actually like the first half of MMO Junkie more than the second half. I actually don't like it as much once she cuts her hair. Not because she cuts her hair, but because of how the plot goes, obviously. So too many coincidence stuff happened, blah blah blah. But the first 5 episodes, I thought this anime was actually really like heartwarming and like cheerful and blah blah blah. And then it went to stuff that wasn't really my cup of tea. So it dropped.
But this anime is all about coincidences.
Yeah, oh, trust me, I discovered that after episode 5.
Got it.
So yeah, I think I would like this anime a lot more if, as Dobler said, if it wasn't like, oh, we were in the previous MMO thing before, and oh, we both are in the same profession of work, and oh, blah 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 blah, and a lot of it, like some of it, like I know we need it in the anime, like them meeting up in real life and so on and so forth, but some of it I just like them playing in the previous MMO just didn't seem like it was really necessary, and kind of took away a little bit from me. But overall, 7's a reasonable score. I think it's okay. I like the genre, so on and so forth. Chris, when do you go next?
Like I said, I was kind of like bored at like the start of this anime. It wasn't really hitting me on its humor marks, that's fine. That's humor's an individualistic thing.
Sure.
The romance seemed kind of, I mean, it was definitely 100% like unrealistic. Their entire interests in themselves outside of, I mean, I guess they get along with each other, but they don't really share that many interests or really understand each other on a personal basis that well.
Okay.
I don't know, it seems kind of forced and contrived, and I tried to like it. It got a little better. I'm gonna disagree. I feel like after the first half, it got more interesting with like getting like Morioka out of the house. Yeah, and who was it? Koiwa kind of brought it up with his lighthearted dub take, which I guess changes his character. Overall, I think I'll probably have to give it like a 5.5. If you want to round it to a 6, that's up to you.
No, 5.5 is fine. If it's like 5.75, I round it up to a 6.
It's like 5.8, but I round it down to a 5.5.
Okay. That's not how rounding works at all.
Listen, I just wanted to stab everyone else in the jimmies, okay?
You can't stab Jimmy in the jimmies.
So wait, are you...
That's
just
double
you
Jimmy.
can.
It's 5.5.
Isn't this technically what Mikkel does? I was gonna say.
It's 5.5.
Okay.
Yeah. No, scored it too high. I have
So I want to stab everyone with the jimmies by decreasing it.
Mikhail should always have to rate first. Like, new club policy.
It's a good thing Mikkel doesn't watch this show. Anyways, Leslie, end us off.
Don't care, at me, bro.
Yeah.
Well, this anime was actually one of my favorites. I was obsessed about it enough to where I wanted to go find the comic and track it down and read more about it because I felt there was a lot of holes in the original anime. Overall, this is a solid 9.5 for me, and the only reason it gets docked a half point is because of how slow the pacing is. Even though I understand why the pacing is slow, it still kind of irked me a bit. Sure. Also, the OVA kind of docked some points for me too.
Oh, what? It was so good.
Like, they could have expanded a little bit more. Instead, they went into a fantasy sequence.
I actually agree with Leslie 100%.
That was all the laughs and the giggles.
It was laughing. It was a fun time, but I just wish they would have. I mean, like, they ended the series, obviously, and the OVA was just icing, but I think they could have done more with the OVA as far as plot instead of, downloadable content.
I like the DLC. That was my favorite episode. But
nobody likes DLC.
So I'm just feeling attacked.
By the way, Jeffy gave it a 6.5, but he wrote nothing in overall thoughts. Just to let you guys know. Yeah. I'm gonna point out he has like a 3-page essay on everything else, but overall thoughts is just 6.5 out of 10, nothing else. So.
He's explained himself.
Yeah. He's definitely wrote a good repertoire, and I appreciate you for it, Jeffy, if you ever watch this. But yeah, so that's recovery of an MMO Junkie. Thank you all for joining. That's the last of the Josh. Well, that was Josh theme week. If you don't know my theme, I basically nominate everything that was second place in everyone else's week before, except for Dobler's, because I didn't know what Dobler's second place would be at the time.
I was in the future.
Yay! So I thought it was a very interesting way to end the themed weeks. I think it was a good thing to do. I know next season we didn't have anything planned, and I feel like what I would like to do, I don't know what everyone's opinions on it, is I have a different theme in mind, but we'll talk about it after club, because I'm sure no one hearing the recording wants to hear about it. So,
How do you know? How do you know what our zero audience wants?
hey, dear zero audience, if you disagree, write a comment or leave a subscription and PM me the details. Good transition, Dobler. Thank you. Love
You're
it.
welcome. That's what I'm here for.
Next session, once again, it's the episode 1 of a lot of the fall stuff, and we also will recap our final ratings on Cells at Work. So I feel like those are some of our best based on last time, but mainly because I really liked John and Mikkel talking about beach ball for an hour. But we'll see. We'll see if it gets better or not. Oh, at least edit. It took me 4 hours to edit that, by the way.
I thought you were crazy.
I am crazy. Yeah. Anyways,
You realized it was crazy.
I was like I spent like I think 18 hours of my life in it, and I only did the first like 25%, and I'm like I can't keep doing this.
Yeah,
So
no, it's a lot of work.
yeah,
You
cool.
get paid a lot of money to do that. So.
Oh well, I'll keep that in mind because I think the work is fun, but not worth it that much for zero viewers.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, yeah. So join us in 2 weeks for that. Until then, this is Josh. Chris, say bye.
Goodbye.
And Dobler, say bye.
Ciao.
Leslie, say bye.
Bye.
John.
Bye bye.
And the other two who aren't here say bye as well. Thanks everyone for joining. Have a good one.